Well, I'm delighted to say back with us now is Alan Bennett, back for Will Nightingale's testimonial today, because it was quite a job linking you two up. Tell us about it.
Yes, and a lot of credit has to go to you, Rob, on that, absolutely, because look, this club doesn't forget. It doesn't forget its ex-players, it doesn't forget its history, and that's ultimately what makes this club different to every other club. You reached out, you put me in touch with him. I couldn't be more grateful. I really couldn't, because it's just such a privilege and a pleasure to be here. I hadn't been to the ground, so it was great to see it and great to see everyone. It's just like, even though I played a very small chapter in the huge history of this club, to be even contribute that much, it's just the amount of just love you get back is incredible. And people like Bezo, who you always meet, love the game and love you back. It's just, this is what he talks about. Even after you retire, even after you finish, you still get it. It's just an amazing feeling.
And it's the first time you've been back, and it's what, a really tight schedule you're on today, basically?
Yeah, pretty tight, in and out. But look, I couldn't say no. Like, on the flip side of that coin, Will Nightingale, such a great guy. I still remember one of his early days, absolutely halving Barry Fuller in a training session, like out of nowhere. I think they were on the same team, this kind of thing. He just had that desire to become a player, to just break into the first team, and he's the exact same today. It's such a pleasure to be here. I know he had a fantastic day. He's probably slightly embarrassed by the whole thing, but ultimately the love shown to him today is just going to come in mountains for him, and he absolutely deserves it.
I was saying to Paul Robinson, who we spoke to as well, and I think it's partly your project too, when you first came in, that it was to develop him and bring him along because they saw the potential in him. Yeah,
you could see it. Anybody with that single-mindedness, and you look in his eyes in training, he just wanted to get into that first team. You could tell, and that just shone through in his personality, how he trained, how he was as a person. I know a lot of people mentioned that today, and I'm echoing that point, that he was just such a popular figure, and it was inevitable, really. Once you set that pattern in place, it's inevitable, really, the success, and he's gone on to do great things. There's more to come from, I think, and I spoke to him about how I felt as a defender in my 30s, and how that's ahead of him for his game, and he's just such a great person, and I'm so happy and so proud to be part of that today.
Absolutely. I mean, he looks after himself, but as you said, what's he got to do now? Because you say, being a defender, he's approaching his best years now, isn't he, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Like him and Ryan Sweeney, like the two of them there, they look so comfortable together. You could tell that that's a natural partnership, obviously, down through the years, but two of those guys, that they're heading into that category now where you just feel comfortable in your skin. You know, as a player, as a defender, you're rarely caught out of position in that age. You find yourself having more influence on the team. You get more comfortable in the gambles you make because you've been there and you've seen it before, and experience is just seeing the same things, same situations over and over again, and being able to recognise them earlier. And he's got that in abundance. He's able to play midfield. He's quite comfortable. He's got great technical ability, great physical shape. So as I said to him, I just had a quick brief chat with him because I know loads of people are talking to him today. I said, look, the best years are still coming for you, and just really explore those years, and it'll be really exciting time for him.
And he's thoroughly deserved his testimonial, but I mean, that used to be the thing of the past, didn't it? Where it was a big sort of situation where a player would deserve a payday. Are we becoming better generally now in football at looking after players, you think, perhaps after they're finished playing?
Yes. Like, it just, those things kind of manifest themselves naturally. Like, you couldn't say no to Will Nightingale when he came to the club. I assume the conversations were all quite easy. Like, this guy, you know, just epitomises what the club is, epitomises what, you know, a person that you want from the very start when he stepped in at 8 or 9 years old to where he is now. So, like, I think that just kind of naturally, organically occurs, that the club just really want to accommodate that for him and put the situation for him. As I said, he's probably looking, like, I was fortunate to play up to about 38, so he could stretch out for another 10 years if he really looks after himself, which I know he has. So it's exciting times for him, and exciting times for obviously for the club as well, and going forward.
Sticking the boots on again today, did you renew any old battles out there? Did you see any old sort of familiar faces as well that you enjoyed playing with?
Yeah, 100%. It was nice to get up against Benno. It was nice to see him again. I absolutely wanted to stay well without reach of him, because if you get in any sort of an arm wrestle with him, I would have ended up on the floor. So I said I'm going to stay as far away from him as possible. But great to see him. Barry Fuller still looks, you know, he's won back the years, looks incredibly comfortable. They were the kind of guys, Carly Osborne I would have played with at Brentford. I know I'm probably missing out people here now, but I was probably directly up against Benno, so it was great to see him again.
What did you make of the achievement on Monday? Because you were telling me you came up against Johnny Jackson as a player, yeah?
Yeah, and you could tell, when you come across players, you just know that they've got that mindset of a manager and a mindset and a capability. It was just so proud watching on. I'm not massive on social media. I don't get on that as much, but 100% sat in the couch, clear the day. I'm watching this final, sat in, kicked every ball, amazing support. I love a clean sheet, so I was absolutely buzzing with 4 clean sheets, I think, leading up to it. Clean sheets, I've always said it, defenders win you leagues, strikers win you games. It doesn't change, something's never changed in the game, and the defending along with the keeper was just immense, and there's beauty in that. I'm always saying that there's beauty in that, and that excites me when I'm watching the game. Probably not many of us, but that definitely excites me watching. I love seeing that.
The last time we did an interview, I was in my kitchen. You were in your back room, I think, with the books behind you, sort of stacked up on the bookshelf as well, because it was COVID, of course, and we were in isolation, and we were talking about the day of getting you here to Plough Lane and finally seeing what this was like. What have you made of it?
Incredible. And I honestly can't thank you enough for that, for reaching out for this day, because it wouldn't have happened without you, and I really appreciate that. For me to be able, there was so much made of this venue and this location and this address, that it just, I was drawn to come here. Do you know, I wanted to see it. I wanted to walk from the station up. I wanted to go down Hayden's Road, come up Plough Lane. I wanted to see the flags as you got closer and closer. Can't believe the facility that's been created, the regeneration of the area. That's the club. Whatever they do, there's a touch of class. Whatever they put their mind to, there's a touch of class to it. And that's just spoken. We've had a little tour, had a quick run around. Got a quick look around. The dressing rooms are amazing. The facilities are just incredible. The potential here for what can happen, and what I know Wimbledon as a club and fans will be dreaming about. The potential here is massive, and that's what you got to build on.
And the last interview we did back at the old place at Kings Meadows, you say, I'm going home to Cork, and you've done just that, haven't you? You've gone back home, you're settled back there, all happy and all good? Yeah,
I remember that, where I sat behind the goal, where Jack Mitson got the penalty on that day. As I said, a small chapter, but I knew then it was time to go. Obviously, the amount of games, I was probably in my mid-30s then, in those leagues, is quite arduous, on your body. So I knew that stepping back to the League of Ireland would probably mean 10 or 15 games less than season. And I was lucky enough to be able to do a double with my club there and play on until I was about 38. Like I said, I've gone in now to local development, so grassroots, schools, education in Cork. So it's just a real natural kind of curve for me, and I've 2 young kids now, and they're the centre of my world now, really. So they're the priority, and being able to spend time with them. And I don't know, there's nothing really in my house jersey wise, or there's nothing. I don't. Everything's in a bag in a room, basically.
I think I got one of them.
Okay. For whatever reason, I just don't know. I'll wait for them to find it on their own, if you know what I mean. I don't want to push it into their face. So I'm going to wait for them, hopefully, and I know that my boy and my girl will want to come here and see this and come here and enjoy this. Okay, and I was so happy to see so many young kids there today. That's such a great just signature of the club, like a real family club, real family oriented. It was a boy and his dad behind me chatting away, picking out the players, talking about the players. It was great to see, and I want that for my kids. So I know the kids all around the area want that too, and it's such a special vibe in around the community when that happens.
Benno, so good to see you back here, especially on this day for Will Nightingale as well. Good to see you.
Thanks, Rob.